Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the Ergon CF Allroad Pro Carbon bike seat post. With the rise in popularity of all-road and gravel cycling, there's been a big influx in dampening components to improve ride quality. That includes suspension stems and seat posts, which help turn even rigid bikes into plush rides. The Ergon CF Allroad Pro Carbon seat post is one of the early innovators in this field and has been available on Canyon bikes for a few years. The seat post is now available separately directly from Ergon and has a built-in leaf spring design that helps dampen the ride. There's a packaging. You can see you have the nice green color that Ergon's known for, an illustration of the seat post and the specs printed on it. And on the back you have some additional specs in multiple languages. We'll go ahead and open this up and go over the specs. So retail price on this is $300. Has a unique leaf spring design, which is referred to as the VCLS Leaf Spring, which is vertical comfort lateral stiffness. It is a two-piece design, so you actually have two halves of a carbon fiber seat post that are connected together with a single bolt, and the whole thing can deflect backwards up to 20 millimeters. It has a 353 millimeter length and a strict 220 pound limit. It is not designed for mountain biking. Instead, it's designed for gravel cycling, road cycling, or all-road. It's available in two versions. We have the setback version, which has a 25 millimeter setback. It also has a zero offset version as well. In terms of what comes with it, obviously you get the seat post itself, which has a really cool design with that split construction. You have quite a few warning labels on here with stickers on the seat post, and then a separate one here as well. There is one shim included, which you can put in between the two pieces if necessary. You have a little assembly paste, which you're supposed to put in between these two to ensure they can move smoothly and be inserted into the bike properly. And you also have a rather thick instruction manual that goes over the installation and any maintenance you might need. Now let's take a look at the weight of the seat post. So I have a little holder here to hold it in place. That comes out to 239 grams. While Redshift and other suspension seat posts combine standard seat posts with suspension components at the saddle rail attachment point, the Ergon CF Allroad is a fully integrated design. It has a two-piece design with a leaf spring construction, so you can see the front and back are actually completely separated. So there's a big gap here, and you can see this is all actually two separate pieces. It's more obvious, especially when you look down. So these two halves actually provide up to 20 millimeters rearward deflection. We have the set back version, so you can see it kind of goes back by 25 millimeters, but they also have a vertical version. This has a 353 millimeter length and is designed for a 27.2 millimeter diameter bike setup. There is a small shim included, but you're not supposed to shim it for any other setups or use multiple shims. The tolerances on this are quite tight, so you want to make sure it works and you don't have to adjust it to force it to work. The minimum insertion length here is 255 millimeters, while the maximum is 152. So you can see you can get it pretty deep in there, even though it is a two-piece design. This is not designed for mountain biking. Instead, it's targeted toward road, all-road, or gravel cycling to dampen the ride. You don't want to take it off big jumps or do any kind of mountain biking with it. The attachment on this is really simple though. You can see the saddle rails go right through these two insertion points. Ergon includes a standard round saddle rail attachment. You can see the two bolts will unhook here and then you can pull this out. There's an optional oval kit so you can swap these out. And you can also flip this forward or backwards depending on how much adjustment you need. So you can see here you have more adjustment on the back side, but if you flip this around, you'll get more adjustment forward. So you can easily do that. Seat tilt is adjustable, but you actually have to remove the saddle from the bike. So unlike normal ones, which have an adjustment here, the adjustment is actually a little bit more complicated. It's way down here. So you have to undo this bolt, and then you can see you can adjust this up and down between +5 and then the -5. To do that adjustment, we'll go ahead and grab our Feedback Sports mini tool. So you can see I'll just take this off. All the torque settings are actually printed right on here. So you can see this one actually sets 7 Newton meters, and then top is 5 Newton meters. So it's pretty cool. As you open this up, you can see it really is just two pieces. So it kind of looks like a broken seat post. When you're installing this, you actually have to put some assembly paste between these just to ensure it has smooth operation. And again, because it is a split design, you will get dirt and mud between these, so you do have to be careful with that. But you can see very cool design that looks almost like a V. Now let's take a look at the seat post on our Tribin RC520. This is more of a gravel or commuter bike, but you can really use the seat post on road bikes or anything in between. It's not designed for major impacts, but if you just want to smooth out your ride, whether you're doing a long commute or gravel trail, it's a great option, and it really looks stealthy. Instead of having a big spring mechanism on top, it just looks like a stealthy carbon fiber seat post, and really only notice the difference with the little gap in the middle. As far as our ride impressions with this, we're pretty impressed. It has a nice subtle dampening effect. It's not nearly as exaggerated as some of the springy seat posts or the big padded seats that really move around underneath you. With this one, you barely feel it moving. It feels more like you've switched between skinny tires and a wider tire. So the difference is a little bit subtle. And there is no real tuning here. You don't have a soft, medium, or hard setting. It's all pre-calibrated from the factory with no adjustment. You can only adjust the saddle position. But it's a really nice way to get a little bit of compliance without having to add weight. So it's still pretty light given the fact that it's carbon fiber and you do have the two-piece design. So it's still quite competitive. So overall, impressed with it. You have tons of seat post adjustment height too. You can see even with our really tall exposed seat post where we typically have to run a 400mm seat post, this one has enough adjustment to leave plenty exposed and also has a very deep maximum insertion range. So if you have less exposed seat post, you can also use it. So overall, pretty nice seat post. You do have to watch out for dirt and debris getting into it. So there's a little bit of maintenance, but it is worth it if you want that compliance. Now let's go over the pros and cons of the Ergon CF Allroad seat post. What I like about it is you have a very clever design. By using the simple vertical leaf spring, you get some compliance without additional complexity. It also does a good job of dampening out rough roads or even trails. So you can use this if you're doing a long ride, whether it's on or off road, to really get that just extra benefit. You also have a wide range of saddle positions, as you can adjust the angle, and you have the FlipHead, so you can really move the saddle forward or backwards. The main negatives with the seat post is the fact that you do have a premium price. It is a $300 seat post, so not cheap at all. And you do have the open sides which can trap dirt and debris, so if you do a lot of wet rides or muddy rides, you have to make sure you do clean out the center, as it can scratch it up when it's moving. Also, the saddle angle adjustment is a little bit tedious. You really have to remove the entire seat post, which can add more scratches to the side, and you'll have to readjust the height rather than just having a simple dial on the top. Taking everything into account, would give the seat post an 8.5 out of 10. It's a clever suspension seat post for those that want a more minimal one that's still lightweight. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at thesweetcyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.